You have gotten used to carrying things by yourself, not because you never wanted help, but because reaching out did not always lead to being understood. So you learned how to keep going, how to answer, "I'm okay," how to say a little without saying enough for anyone to really know, how to hold your own heart with tired hands and call that strength. Precious one, I know the loneliness that can hide inside capable people. I know how exhausting it is to be the one who keeps functioning, keeps showing up, keeps holding everyone else's weight, while quietly wondering who notices yours. Beloved, you have not only been weary, you have been undernourished in places that matter. Not for food, for comfort, for understanding, for the kind of companionship that does not make you explain every feeling before it becomes worthy of care. Dear heart, when I say someone is coming, sent by me, I am not trying to stir fantasy in you. I am speaking to the part of you that has started believing you must do every hard thing alone. That belief has been shaping you, making you guarded, making you self-contained, making you suspicious of kindness because kindness that stays has been harder to find. Loved one, listen gently now. I know how many times help came late, how many times people promised nearness and then disappeared, how many times you softened only to feel foolish for softening, how many times you told yourself not to need too much because disappointment hurt less that way. I know, I know, I know, and because I know, I am careful with what I say next. Sweet soul, the person I am bringing may not arrive the way you imagine. Not dramatic, not perfect, not as someone who fixes every ache in one conversation, but real, steady, timed with care, able to carry something true to you, a word, a kindness, a practical help, a presence that does not drain you for needing it. My dear one, you have longed for someone safe, not someone flashy, not someone impressed by your strength, someone gentle enough to notice when your smile is thin, someone wise enough not to rush your story, someone grounded enough to sit near pain without making it about themselves, someone whose presence does not leave you more tired than before. Beloved, that longing in you has not been foolish. It has been holy in its own way. A human ache for care, a simple need to be accompanied, a quiet desire to be met without performance. Do not shame yourself for wanting that. Dear heart, there are seasons when I strengthen you inwardly in hidden ways, and there are seasons when I send care through another pair of hands. Both are mine. Both matter. Neither makes you weak. Loved one, you have sometimes thought that needing another person meant you were failing at being strong. But strength was never meant to mean isolation. Endurance is not the same as wholeness. Independence is not the same as peace. And surviving without support does not mean support was unnecessary. Sweet soul, I am not only forming you through private resilience, I also care how you are held in the company of others. I care who speaks into your tiredness. I care who stands near when your heart is thin. I care who notices that you are carrying too much. Precious one, someone sent by me will not arrive to flatter your wounds or deepen confusion. They will not require that you shrink to make them comfortable. They will not stir chaos and call it connection. They will not touch your tender places carelessly. Their presence will make room for honesty, room for calm, room for your spirit to unclench a little. Beloved, this may be a friend, it may be a counselor, a mentor, a stranger with an unexpectedly kind sentence. It may be someone already near whom you have not fully noticed because your disappointment has trained you to expect less than care. Do not force the form. Do not chase a fantasy. Just stay open to the possibility that help can arrive without fanfare. Dear heart, sometimes I answer loneliness not by removing every empty space, but by placing one faithful person inside the right one. A person whose timing matters, whose steadiness matters, whose ordinary kindness lands like water on a part of you that has gone dry. That is no small thing. Loved one, if you are afraid to hope for this, I understand. Hope can feel risky after repeated disappointment. You may think, what if I read too much into this? What if no one comes? What if I open again and end up carrying my own hurt plus embarrassment? Those are tender fears. I do not mock them. Sweet soul, I am not asking you to become naive. I am not asking you to trust every smile. I am not asking you to hand your heart to the first person who seems interested. Discernment is love too. Wisdom belongs alongside hope. The one I send will not require you to betray your peace to keep their presence. My dear one, you may recognize them less by their words than by their effect. After speaking with them, you may feel clearer instead of more tangled, more seen instead of more exposed, more settled instead of more stirred up, more human instead of more ashamed for having needs. That matters. Beloved, not every person who enters your life is assigned to stay forever. Some come for a season, some for one turning, some to hold a lamp at a dark point in the road and then continue on. Do not despise short kindness just because it is not lifelong. Temporary care can still be real care, and timely help can change more than you yet know. Dear heart, part of what I am healing in you is not only loneliness, it is the belief that care is always unstable, the belief that tenderness must be earned, the belief that if someone truly knew how tired you are, they would quietly retreat. That belief has been heavy, and it has made you try to need less than you actually do. Loved one, I want to loosen that burden, little by little, with safe experiences, with kinder mirrors, with people who do not exploit what is soft in you, with presence that teaches your heart a new possibility, that being met does not always end in hurt. Precious one, there may be a doorway opening soon through an ordinary moment, a message, a conversation after work, a chance invitation, a reply that feels unexpectedly sincere, a person who asks the second question instead of accepting your first easy answer. Do not overlook ordinary entrances. I often place care there. Beloved, the help I send may not match your pride preference. It may come in a form that asks you to be honest, to admit you are tired, to admit you need support, to admit the burden is heavier than you have been saying. That may humble you. But humility is not harm. Sometimes humility is simply the doorway through which comfort enters. Sweet soul, I know you have practiced being self-sufficient. You have become skilled at managing pain quietly, at making your own way, at carrying your own questions, at patching your own spirit and getting through another day. There was wisdom in that for a time. It helped you survive. But survival skills can become walls if you never set them down. Dear heart, I am not tearing down everything you built. I am gently showing you where the walls have started to block the very care you have been longing for. You do not need to open every gate, only not close all of them. That is enough for now. Loved one, someone sent by me will not complete you. You are not half a person waiting to become whole through another human being. But they may support what is already being restored. They may echo truth when your own thoughts have grown harsh. They may bring rest to an overworked corner of your life. They may remind you that companionship can be clean, simple, and steady. Precious one, this is not only about romance. It could be, but do not make it smaller by forcing it into one category. I am speaking of assigned care, of human help carrying my tenderness in a timely form, of someone whose presence becomes part of your healing because I knew what you needed. Beloved, some of the holiest help arrives quietly. A person who listens without fixing. A friend who checks in again. A mentor who names your gift when you had begun to doubt it. A counselor who helps untangle what has sat in knots for years. A neighbor who notices the strain and offers one practical kindness. These things matter deeply. Dear heart, do not underestimate the sacred weight of ordinary care. Grand gestures are not the only language of love. Sometimes what changes you most is being treated gently when you expected to be overlooked. Sometimes what restores faith is not a miracle that shouts, but a person who keeps showing up without asking you to be less real. Loved one, as this help draws near, I also want to ease your fear of burdening others. You have carried that fear for a long time. It has made you edit yourself. It has made you apologize for emotions before anyone even responds. It has made you offer the shortened version of your pain so no one feels you need too much. Sweet soul, the right person will not be frightened by your humanity. They may have limits, yes. They will still be human. But healthy care does not punish honesty. Healthy care does not make you regret having a heart. Healthy care can say, I cannot carry everything without making you feel that you should have said nothing. That kind of steadiness is part of what I mean. My child, you have been asking me for relief while trying not to need anyone. But relief sometimes arrives relationally, through shared weight, through wise presence, through being known in a way that lifts pressure off your tired inner life. Do not resist that simply because it feels vulnerable. Beloved, if someone kind comes near, you do not have to spill your whole story in one breath. You are allowed to move slowly. You are allowed to notice whether peace grows in their presence. You are allowed to test for steadiness without becoming cynical. You are allowed to be hopeful and discerning at the same time. That balance is part of healing too. Dear heart, there is comfort ahead that does not depend on you having all the right words. There is support ahead that will meet you in your plain humanity. There is companionship ahead that will not ask you to become someone else to deserve it. Loved one, you may cry when this care arrives, not because you are falling apart, because something in you will finally feel what it is like to unclench. Sometimes tears come not only from pain but from relief, from being met, from realizing you were not meant to carry it all alone. Sweet soul, stay soft enough to notice what is gentle. Not every loud thing is important. Not every intense person is meant for your life. Not every connection is a gift. Look for what brings clean peace. Look for what leaves you more grounded. Look for what treats your tenderness as something worth honoring. Precious one, I am already at work in ways you cannot yet measure. Arranging timing, opening simple paths, preparing conversations, stirring hearts, making space for the right kind of meeting to happen in its season. You do not need to force all of this. You do not need to chase every possibility. You do not need to perform readiness. Beloved, just keep a little room in your heart for the idea that care can still find you, that faithful people still exist, that support can arrive without drama, that being helped does not make you lesser, that being accompanied does not mean you have failed at strength. Dear heart, the loneliness you have known is not the whole story. The self-protection you learned is not your final home. There is more for you than silent endurance. There is shared warmth. There is honest company. There is a steadier kind of human kindness than what your hurt has taught you to expect. Loved one, when the right person appears, you may not recognize the significance immediately. It may just feel a little easier to exhale, a little less effort to speak plainly, a little less need to brace. Pay attention to that easing. Peace often introduces itself that way. Sweet soul, until then, do not mistake the waiting for abandonment. I have not forgotten what your heart needs. I have not overlooked the places in you that are tired from carrying. I have not ignored your longing for safe companionship. I remain attentive. My dear one, there is no need to strain toward tomorrow. What is meant to arrive will find its way in the right hour. And when it does, it will not come to dazzle you. It will come to steady you, to strengthen what is tender, to support what is forming, to remind your weary heart that my care often wears a human face. So rest tonight without forcing the future. The one I send is not a rumor. The kindness prepared for you is not wishful thinking. In due time it will step into the ordinary and make it gentler. Until then, I will keep watch over your guarded heart, quiet as lamplight in a doorway, holding hope softly until help arrives. Amen. My dear family, every message shared here is prepared with prayer and devotion. We continue this work with gratitude and faith. If you feel led to stand with this ministry, the support link is provided in the description and in the comment box below. May the Lord guide and bless you.